Welcome back to Movie Minute. In the previous part, a simple money seizure turned into something far more dangerous. Trust inside the team was already fragile, and now, signs of an outside threat have begun to appear. As Byrne steps into the darkness to investigate a mysterious signal, the hidden truth behind this money and Jackie's death is about to surface. This is where alliances break, secrets are exposed, and survival becomes the only priority. Let's continue. Before he leaves, he instructs Ro to inform Dane about this. But while Ro is going to meet Dane, he receives an extremely secret text message. It comes from a number saved as Chief. It states that as soon as the whole team gathers in the room with the money, the people outside are ready to break in. Meanwhile, Dane calls his superior officer, the Major, and says, "We received a tip for about $150,000 and we'll bring it in now." Desiree clearly hears Dane telling the Major a false amount. Desiree takes advantage of this opportunity. She tells Ro, who came to leave the spot, "These people are trying to steal the money. You are the only one I trust. That's why I told you this." It is exactly at this moment that Dane arrives there. Dane asks suspiciously, "What are these secret discussions you're having?" Surprisingly, Ro doesn't say anything to Dane here. It is at this time that Ro tells Dane about Byron going to check the light. After that, both Ro and Dane go outside to check the strange light. The situation inside the house now takes a dangerous turn, because another call comes to the phone on the table. Numa answers it. On the other side, a warning is heard, giving the fear of death. "Listen to what I say. People there will start dying in 10 minutes. If you want to save your life, get out of there now," this person warns. Meanwhile, suspicion still reigns between Dane and Ro, who went to check the suspicious light. Dane asks Ro again what he was secretly talking about with Desiree. When Ro tries to avoid it, Dane tells him, "Okay, you go and guard the place where the money is being counted, and I'll go and find Byron." As soon as Dane leaves, Ro sends a secret voice message. "They are trying to steal this money. We need to act now." He sends a message to his secret team. The most terrifying scene in the story is shown to us inside the dark house that Byrne went to inspect. The whole house is silent and dark. Amidst that darkness, we see a pistol in a hand emerging from a shadow. That pistol is aimed directly at Byrne. That scene ends there. When Ro comes back inside the house, Desiree in the kitchen asks him very hopefully, "Ro, you're helping me, aren't you?" Ro assures her, "Don't worry. Those people are on their way now." Who does Ro mean by those people? Is he connected to a trafficking gang, or is he connected to a cartel? So, let's see what happens next. As Ro goes toward the room where the money is being counted, he sees that the door is strangely tied with a rubber band. Seeing this, Ro's suspicion is further confirmed. He thinks that this group is getting ready to secretly divide the money. While Ro looks at Lolo and Numa with great suspicion and anger, Dane suddenly comes there again. Ro immediately asks Dane, "Where is Byrne? What happened to him?" Dane says very simply, "I missed him." With that answer, a great fear arises in our minds. Was Byrne harmed in that dark house? Or did Dane do something to Byrne? As soon as Dane arrives, Numa tells him about the dangerous phone call she received. Numa says fearfully, "Dane, we got a call 5 minutes ago. A person said that everyone here will die in 10 minutes, so get out of here immediately." The whole house is suddenly plunged into darkness as the power goes out. Dane immediately instructs them to use flashlights, but before a few seconds pass, several green laser beams are aimed at their bodies from the garage door side. That means the target is ready. In the next moment, a hail of bullets, shaking the area, is fired toward the people inside. Amidst the fierce exchange of fire, Lolo is shot in the leg and falls down. Desiree, who is handcuffed to a chair in the kitchen, falls to the floor with the chair, having no way to hide and save her life. As the shooting stops, Dane and Ro chase after the attacking gang, and there is an exchange of fire even then. Somehow this group gets into a car and escapes from there. It is at that time that Byrne arrives there with a new person. That new person is a sniper connected to the cartel gang. Through him, the cartel leader says, "We don't know anything about this attack. We have already abandoned that money. You can do whatever you want." With this statement, Dane falls into a big confusion. If the owners of the money didn't attack, then who really did the shooting? The team gathers again at the place where the money is being counted. With the news that the cartel gang has abandoned the money, the greed and suspicion among these officers increase even more. So, with the question of what to do with this money now, the old conflict between Byrne and Dane flares up again. Byrne accuses Dane of secretly dealing with the cartel gang. The two start hitting each other fiercely, accusing one another. Roe goes to the place where Desiree is again, but he goes to the washroom. Roe frantically searches for the secret phone he had with him. But surprisingly, that phone is not with him now. Since he can't send any message now, he is very scared. Meanwhile, Byrne calls Nix again. "We're about to leave with this money. Where are you?" When Byrne asks, Nix assures him that he is very close now. Now the money is in bags, and everything is ready. At that time, Dane shows a secret message written on a piece of paper to Numa and Lolo. The instruction he gives, "Don't read this, just remember it," shows that Dane has another secret plan in his mind. Roe, who has no way to communicate, is very agitated. He asks Desiree if she has a phone nearby. Finally, Desiree says Dane took it. So, with this, Roe's eye goes to a lit candle. In the next moment, one side of the house catches fire. We can assume that Roe deliberately started this fire. With the fire, everyone goes outside with the money bags. As soon as they come out, Nix arrives there with his team. Dane, who doesn't know that Byrne secretly called Nix, shows his displeasure at seeing him. Somehow, Dane, who loads the money bags into Nix's vehicle, orders Numa, Lolo, and Desiree to stay there until the fire brigade arrives. Although Byrne tries to stop him, that also ends in a fight. And finally, Byrne, Roe, Dane, and Nix's team leave the spot with the money. The most exciting part of the story begins right here. While traveling in the vehicle, a fierce argument breaks out among this group. Byrne firmly says, "I've had enough of these jokes now. I'm going to call the major right now and officially hand over this money." At that time, Dane says very casually, "I've already finished calling the major." But Roe suddenly jumps in with a strange question, and the whole atmosphere changes. Roe asks, "Okay, the major knows about this raid, but he doesn't know the real amount of this money, does he?" Dane is surprised by this and looks at Roe, asking, "How can you say that so confidently?" It is here that the secrets between the two begin to be revealed one by one. Dane directly accuses Roe, "You're tipping someone off, aren't you?" In response to that, Roe reveals the secret that Desiree told him in front of everyone. Roe says for everyone to hear, "You only told the major that there was $150,000, didn't you? But Desiree told me that you tried to secretly steal the remaining massive amount of money." The final part of Dane's very subtly planned operation is now being revealed. Responding to Roe's accusation, Dane says very calmly, "Yes, that's right. I lied, so Desiree could hear it." Roe further accuses Dane, saying that Desiree told him that Dane, Lolo, and Numa teamed up to steal the money. It is from there that Dane's true nature is revealed. Dane says calmly, "What Desiree told you is exactly what I planned for her to hear." Remember what Byrne said at the beginning of the story? That you have to set a bait in murky water to see what comes up. Dane has done exactly that. Dane knew that there was a traitor within his team, so he used Desiree as bait, made her hear false information, and planned for her to send that secret information to the traitor. Dane's plan is now fully executed against Roe. When Roe asked about the money earlier in the story, Dane gave him the amount of $150,000. Roe is still trying to make it look normal. "Yes, he told me that amount. So, what's wrong with that?" Roe asks. It is at that moment that Byrne reveals the secret completely. Byrne says, "The mistake is that Dane told a different amount to everyone in our team." Dane used this clever tactic to find out who the informant was. Byrne says again here, "You are the only one who knew the amount of $150,000. Remember that secret call that came from outside? That call also said to take $150,000 and leave. So, it was Roe who told that person about the amount of $150,000. Dane and Byrne's subtle plan has now been completely successful. At the moment the call came to the house saying there was no need to kill people for $150,000, Dane and Byrne knew that Rowe was the one who leaked the information, because Rowe was the only one who knew the amount of $150,000. Rowe tries to escape further, saying, "I was with you all the time. Besides, you took my phone. How could I make a call?" It is at that moment that Byrne takes out the phone Rowe lost from his pocket. Byrne says, "You had another phone, Rowe. Here it is." Rowe has nothing to say now. It is from here that another big secret is revealed. Remember when Dane and Byrne were fiercely hitting each other, accusing one another, while counting the money? That fight was actually an act. That fight was created to divert Rowe's attention and secretly steal the extra phone he was keeping with him. The most terrifying secret that turns this story upside down has now been revealed. Rowe is the one who is responsible for all this. It was Rowe who brought those two police officers initially. It was Rowe who planned the shooting at the garage. And finally, it was Rowe who set the house on fire. Rowe did all this to create chaos and steal the money all by himself. But Rowe couldn't do all this alone. Who was the secret partner he had with him was also the biggest question here. When Rowe is cornered, he makes a call from his extra phone to the person he was sending his secret messages to. At that same moment, a phone starts ringing inside the vehicle with a loud, vibrating sound. It belongs to none other than DEA agent Mateo Nix. Now the whole conspiracy is clear. Nix and Rowe teamed up to betray the team and pull off a heist to steal the money. We are also shown a flashback to when Byrne went to the house with the light signal. The shadow of the hand with the gun we saw was actually Dane's. He already knew that Rowe was behind everything. Dane now lays out the entire secret in front of Byrne. "Byrne, this all started with Jackie. I didn't get this tip in a normal way. On the night Jackie died, just as she was under fire and about to draw her last breath, she sent me a message. She knew about this money and this betrayal," Dane says. With this, it's confirmed that the message Jackie struggled to type before her final breath was indeed sent to Dane. Byrne asks in surprise, "So you planned all of this?" Dane answers calmly using the same words Byrne said earlier. "Remember, Byrne? You were the one who said we should throw a bait into murky water and see what gets caught. That's exactly what I did. I told everyone different things and let Desiree hear lies just to set the bait. Both Nix and Rowe fell for it," Dane explains. The ultimate goal of Dane's entire plan was to trap the true traitor who killed Jackie. Now everything is finally exposed. It turns out the last person Jackie spoke to on the phone before she died was Desiree. Desiree had called Jackie that day saying, "I don't trust anyone now. Something dangerous is about to happen in this house, so come quickly." Desiree had already given an official tip about the massive amount of money hidden in the house and the cartel involvement. But instead of acting on that tip legally, Rowe used that information for his personal gain. Rowe knew that a tip about a large sum of money had been received, but at that time he didn't have the address of the house. Rowe and Nix conspired to find that address, lure Jackie into this trap, and secretly steal the money. Dane has now proven that even Jackie's death was caused by this greed for money. The darkest mystery of the story is now fully revealed. Rowe and Nix just wanted to find where the secret money was hidden, and they used Jackie to do it, although they threw her phone into the river to leave no evidence. The message Jackie sent to Dane before her final breath became the beginning of their destruction. Remember at the beginning, the FBI said that the reason they couldn't find Jackie's killer was likely because he was someone within the police? That suspicion was deeply rooted in Dane's mind. Dane knew that whoever killed his partner for money would definitely make a mistake and get caught when they saw this mountain of cash in front of their eyes. As soon as his betrayal is exposed, Nick starts shooting inside the vehicle like a madman. "Fine, we got caught, but that doesn't matter now. Let's just divide this money among the four of us. Then no one will have a problem," Nick says, making one last attempt to tempt them. At that very moment, a call comes to Byrne's phone. Byrne puts it on speaker for everyone to hear. The call is from Byrne's brother, an FBI officer. "We've arrived at the location. Are those two vehicles coming in the distance yours?" he asks. While Dane was playing his part, Byrne had secretly informed his brother about everything. With that message, Nix and Rowe are left stunned. FBI officers have surrounded both sides of the road. Realizing there is no way to escape, Rowe shoots his partner Nix, grabs one money bag, and runs away. Dane immediately chases after him. Meanwhile, even though Nix is wounded, he tries to speed away in the vehicle with the money. Byrne pursues him. Finally, as Dane corners Rowe, Byrne, after a fierce struggle, shoots and kills Nix and takes the money into his vehicle. This is where the story ends, and the most brilliant tactic is revealed. The money bags that Rowe and Nix risked their lives to steal didn't actually contain money. Dane had cleverly filled those bags with old paper scraps from the garage and tricked them. The real money was still in the red barrels. The secret message Dane wrote on a piece of paper and showed to Numa and Lolo had instructed them that once the men left with the fake bags, they were to secretly load the money barrels into the old car in the garage and bring them. According to Dane's plan, Lolo, Numa, and Desiree safely bring the money directly to FBI headquarters. In the end, Rowe is arrested and receives the proper punishment for his betrayal. At the FBI headquarters, they officially begin counting the massive amount of cash. Because she acted according to the law and provided the correct tip, Desiree receives a massive 20% commission from that money. Having served justice for Jackie's death and caught the traitors in his team, Dane finally says goodbye to Desiree with a sense of peace. For Dane, who was suffering from the loss of his son and the death of his partner, the truth finally triumphs. And so the story built around this mountain of money comes to an end. It is now clear who was behind Jackie's death. Dane's decisions, Rowe's hidden truth. This story gives an answer to the question of whether money is a form of security or a path to destruction. Whether it was a person or the law that won here is for you to decide. So that's the final part of the movie, The R.I.P. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more breakdowns of crime, thriller, and true story-based movies like this, make sure to subscribe to the Movie Minute channel. Give this video a like and share your thoughts on this movie in the comments. We'll see you again with the next movie. This is Movie Minute.